Hey, you're not going to get away from your little sister. Running at the moment you see someone's face like that? Where the heck have you run off to? I have no reason to tell you where I'm at. I'm asking you to please not run after me, all right? Huh? I wanted to get away from you as quickly as possible. I don't ever want to see your face again, so just stay away from me. Why are you even at a place like this in the first place? I'm thinking the same thing myself. Why would my older sister be coming out of an apartment building as gorgeous as this one? This is not the kind of building some poor person like you should be seen at. Huh? Who did you just call a poor person? I'm talking about the person who had her fiancé stolen from her by me. You are a no-good loser who lost their CEO fiancé to a younger and more pretty little sister. You lost your chance at becoming rich to me, and now you have no money because of it. Yet now you think you can be inside an apartment building that's way too much for you? I was coming up to you just then to ask you what was going on with that, but you ran off the moment you saw my face. The second I walked out of my apartment building, my eyes met with the one woman I cut ties to. I couldn't even say anything because of how surprised I was, and my only choice was to run. I literally cannot look at your face anymore without wanting to vomit. It's very rude to run away from someone the moment you see their face, especially when they want to talk to you. I happen to be married to a CEO now and am considered royalty to some. Everyone sees my face and comes running up to me wanting to talk. So the only person that thought it was okay to run at the sight of me was you. I heard rumors from others about how you and him finally got married, but I didn't want to think any of it was true. Even now, Frank is just drooling over me. He made the right choice leaving you for me. He tells me all the time that he's so happy he let me have him, as I'm way cuter and prettier than you could ever be. I guess the seat as the wife of a CEO has always been reserved for me. Is that so, Fiona? Then tell me what your oh-so-happy CEO husband was doing with you. He was standing out there not even bothering to come in, just staring at the apartment building. Oh, you're going to ask about that? Actually, I'm being invited to this really fancy party that takes place tomorrow on top of that apartment building. A party, huh? It appears that one of the people that Frank works with is living on the top floor of this apartment building, in the penthouse, right? And well, everyone that works with my husband's friend, or is friends with him, of course, will be there. So the two of us will be coming back tomorrow to attend said party. I feel amazing knowing that the two of us are being invited to a celebrities party located in a penthouse way up there. So you're saying the party is tomorrow, right? Why were you here the day before looking at the apartment building like that? We just wanted to see what the place we'd be partying at is like. This is our first time seeing this place, so we wanted to make sure we knew what we were in for. If we had no idea what the place was like, then we might end up coming to the party tomorrow underdressed or something. So you both are really wanting to make everything go perfect tomorrow. Well, of course. A company owner and his wife are coming to the party tomorrow, and we need to look good for being such high-class figures. I want to make sure that I'm wearing all the right attire tomorrow in order to not embarrass him. Also, it would be nice to become the standout couple at tomorrow's party as well. I'm sure that I'll already be a sight for everyone's eyes, as I'm going to be the youngest and cutest person there. I see. So that's the reason you both were just standing out there looking up at the apartment building? You both looked like celebrities in your nice fur coats with sunglasses on, looking at a place as high-classed as this building. I was afraid you both might have been undercover or something like that. Excuse me? We are not faking being celebrities, as we both are the real deal. Did you know that the sunglasses I have on right now are worth $3,000? Is that so? I was really shocked to see you coming out of a building like that, though. So now, would you tell me why you were in a place like that? A loser like you would never be able to afford a place inside that building. Ah, perhaps you've begun working part-time as a delivery man? Huh? Now that I think about it more and more, you were walking out with that massive cooler box, right? You must be doing some kind of food delivery now. And you were just here delivering food to the wealthy. Well, if that's the case, then I guess I can see why you were inside such a gorgeous building. You've got it all wrong. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I happen to live in that apartment building. There is no way that could ever be the case. I'm sure you're just lying to me now because you don't want to look like a failure in front of your little sister. What did you say? It must be such a struggle for you to have to carry food all the way up and down that building's stairs. But I guess that this is what happens to those that lose their CEO fiancé to another person. You've fallen so far now that you have to work part-time as a food delivery guy. Well, I hope things go well for you moving all that food around and that you someday can move up in the world.
Millie, I know you said you'd be home late, but you all right? You said you're going out to do some shopping, but it's been over 2 hours now.
I'm sorry for making you worry, Max. I got a little bit tired and took a break at a cafe downtown. Right now I'm getting that shopping done, though.
Oh? Are you starting to feel a little bit sick or something now? If that's the case, I can go out shopping for you instead. You can stay at the cafe and take all the time you need to rest. And on the way back from shopping, I can pick you up.
No, that's all right, Max. I ran into someone I really did not want to see, and that kind of stressed my head out a little bit. I've finally calmed down now, though, so I'll get to shopping now.
Is that what happened? But you really don't need to stress yourself some more to go to the store. I can do all of that for you while you relax.
I really am fine now, so you can let it go. Now, I have something I'd really like to ask you. For tomorrow's party, did you invite someone by the name of Frank?
Frank? Yeah, I happen to have only met him just recently. I was introduced to him by one of my colleagues, and recently he's been doing some work within my company for us. Also, he's been talking with me about getting himself a penthouse to move into. So I went ahead and invited him to come to my party if it was all right with him.
I see. So you happen to know about him through work, then?
Do you know anything about him? You already happen to know his name, so maybe you've been around him before?
You know about that story from my past where my previous fiancé was stolen from me by my little sister, right? Actually, that previous fiancé of mine is him.
What? Are you sure?
Just a little bit ago, I ran into both my little sister and him in front of our apartment building. She began to brag about the reason for her being around here being that she was invited to a party taking place in this apartment building tomorrow. I wanted to make sure that couldn't be possible, but it is, isn't it? You really have invited the two of them to come to your party.
You're lying, right? There's no way there could be such a coincidence.
Really, I don't want to see either my sister's face nor my ex-fiancé's face. But if Frank happens to be someone you're working with in the business world, then I'm going to have to deal with him again. As an adult, I'm just going to have to put up with this, but deep down this is going to hurt me so much.
Millie, you really don't need to force yourself tomorrow. I can let everyone know that you're not feeling well this time around. Then you won't have to show your face at all and can find somewhere to relax until the party's over. And as for the preparations of the party, I can handle them all myself.
I can't just not show up for a reason such as mine. Everyone wants to meet me as well since I'm your wife of all people. Also, I've already gotten started on a lot of dishes for tomorrow that I'd like to finish up when I get home. I really would not feel okay giving you all of that work when you already have enough responsibilities as it is.
I guess I'm not as great at cooking as you are. A lot of the people coming tomorrow have met with you before and are excited to eat some of your cooking. Already, a lot of the guests are telling me that they're coming on an empty stomach, just for you.
If there are really that many people coming who want to see me and eat my cooking, then I'll have to suck it up and push on. I promise to not run and hide tomorrow, and I'll stand my ground in front of her and Frank. I'm sure once those two realize I'm your wife, then things won't end up as bad as I'm thinking. I happen to be the wife of a very famous businessman, and I have to uphold that image as well.
Thank you, Millie. And I guess you're the wife of the party organizer as well. So you feel as though you need to be there to help out. Just know that I'll be around to protect you during the party if anything does happen. Also, this might be the perfect chance for you to show your little sister who you've become.
That's right. I really want her to see what's become of me, and hopefully that changes the way she views me. All right then, I'm going to get this shopping done and I'll be home very soon. I'm going to put my all into cooking tonight so that everyone is happy tomorrow. Hey, Fiona! Why have you kicked me out of there? You open the front door right now for me. It's your fault for coming to a party you weren't invited to in the first place. I saw that you were done delivering all our food, so it's time for you to get out, you moneyless loser. Huh? I never thought I'd see the day where a food delivery person thought it'd be okay to sit down in the party after dropping the food off. Did you think that because this party is full of the rich and affluent, you could stick around and find yourself a new man? The fact that you still think you have a chance at finding yourself a rich man is kind of something I never saw you trying to cling to. I am not some food delivery person, and I'm not here to look for a new man. Now open the front door right now so that I can come back in. If you don't do that for me right now, things will not turn out the way you hoped. Oh, but this is all I've hoped for. The only people that are allowed to be at this party are those with money and those who are famous, right? You meet neither of those requirements, so you're not allowed. You always keep trying to talk down to me like I'm nothing, but I'm not having it any longer. I am not some poor loser like you think. I belong in that party more than anyone else in there right now. Huh? You think you belong in here when your little sister stole your fiancé from you and you were fired from your last job? Go ahead and keep dreaming because you've lost your job, your money, and your love a long time ago. Dreaming? You must be so jealous of me. But come on now, it's been 2 whole years since I stole Frank from you. I think it's time you just gave up on trying to get Frank or any of the other men here and faced the truth. I get that you will still want to believe you have a rich CEO fiancé and a good job, but both of those things are gone. You're living a huge lie now, and you need to realize that. I feel so bad for your confused butt that I'm starting to laugh about it. I'm telling you right now to quit it with all that BS. I am really about to hit my limit with you. I was trying so hard today to act like an adult about this, but you are making all that really, really difficult. Would you cut it out with all that whining and just go home? This is not the kind of place a poor person should be at. And to think you actually thought it was a good idea to sneak your way into a party in the penthouse of this apartment building? What an absolute freak. This is my husband's penthouse. Huh? Stop lying. A loser like you would never be able to get married. Now you think you're married to a man that owns this penthouse? Get your head out of the clouds, idiot.
So, this is the kind of treatment my wife gets. What do you think you're doing kicking out the wife of the party's organizer?
What?
I'm gonna have my wife take a break in a separate room now. I don't want her anywhere near a rat that is breathing the same air. I had to ask one of the guests who owns the room below us to let her in order to have a place to rest her head. Thank goodness for them.
What is this? Who are you? Why has the tone of all this changed so quickly?
Unlike Millie, you really are the devil in human clothing. I happen to be the one putting this party on, and Millie's husband. I'm sorry, but the person you called a loser just now does happen to be married.
What?
I'm sorry, but it's time for you to go. I no longer want to see neither you or your husband's face around here. So would you both please get your jackets and leave my place at once?
Wait a second. What? You're joking about being the organizer of this party, right? My older sister's husband. That has to be some kind of a joke, right?
Get out of here, right now. Do you understand my English? Or would you rather me call security up here and have them drag the two of you out? I can do that for you both, right now.
What?
Once my wife is feeling better again, I want her coming back to this party. But before that can happen, you both need to be gone.
What's going on here, Millie? Why do Frank and I have to be the ones getting kicked out of that party? And why are you the wife of the party thrower? You already heard from him, right? We've been married now for a year. No. There is no way you got married to anyone. I am not going to sit here and listen to you tell me such bullcrap. Huh? Because 2 years ago, you had your fiancé stolen from you by me, right? You should have never been able to recover from something as intense as that was. I thought for the rest of your life you would have been trying to get back with Frank or something. Yet within a year, you were with a completely different man? And what's even more unbelievable is that your husband has so much money that it's not even funny to joke about. No way. You can look away from reality all you want, but this is true. You're trying to tell me that you're married to a man who can afford a penthouse like that? I already heard about him from Frank, but he appears to own one of the most sought-after companies in this city. Why would you be able to marry someone like that? He shouldn't be the kind of person to fall for some moneyless loser like you. There were just a lot of coincidences. After you stole Frank from me, I lost both my job and my place to live. So out of fear of losing everything I still had left, I picked up the first job I could, which happened to be at my husband's company. And I'm still working for him, although now I'm the head of HR. So this was an intercompany marriage then? Normally it's frowned upon to marry someone else within the same company, but he made an exception for me and kept it a secret. Huh? What the heck? How did he keep your guys' marriage a secret then? This is like some kind of drama. I think the same thing sometimes. But this is his company after all, and since I was the woman of his dreams, he made some exceptions just for me. But to think that this random job I found would lead to me marrying the CEO is wild. There's no way, though. But what's really crazy is that I'd soon learn that his job is somehow related to Frank. This world really is pretty small, huh? What should I do? What should I do? So you're telling me that I just kicked out the wife of one of Frank's most important partners? That's what it looks like. That's why I told you to let me back in, or else things wouldn't be going as you hoped. Well, if you knew something bad would happen, then you should have explained everything to me earlier. Then I would have let you right back into your place. But that wouldn't have happened because you never care to listen to what I say. Now go ahead and explain all this to Frank for me. You might be able to learn whether or not he's still into me as well then.
I was able to get the party to end early today, and on good terms with everyone else that attended. You feeling any better, Millie? I'm gonna clean all of this up now myself, so keep relaxing in your room for me.
I'm sorry, but it looks like I just couldn't manage to stay at the party until the end. Also, Frank happens to be someone related to your job, yet he had to be kicked out. This might not look good for you in the eyes of those that have no clue what's going on.
That's not going to be a problem for me at all, so don't worry about it. Actually, thanks to you, I've been able to learn a whole lot about Frank and the company he runs. There was something about how he wanted my company to join his, and he'd be there to protect it.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
After today, I was able to learn a lot about him. Because that, I've been saved. When I'm done cleaning up out here, I'll explain all of it to you in further detail. I want you to clear your mind and rest some more for now. When I'm done out here, I'll be joining you to rest my head and talk. Please, Millie, do something to get your husband to understand what's happened here. Tell him to please not throw out the contract. We were so close to having signed.
What? Frank?
I never would have thought someone like you would end up with Max. I have a lot to ask about how that happened, but now's not the time for it. Right now, I need you to please talk your husband out of canceling the contract. If he goes through with it, then my company's gonna fall apart.
Well, I've heard about all that from him. Recently, your company's been looking for help, right? So you asked my husband to send some men from his offices over to help you out, right?
Recently, there have been a lot of sloppy people applying to work for me. Not just that, but a lot of the people I already have been quitting due to it being too busy and stressful here. Because of that, a lot of the work that should be getting done here ain't, and I'm losing all my partners. That's why I had asked one of my friends to get me in touch with another CEO that might be willing to help my company out. But to think that yesterday of all days would be the day that all my hopes and plans would fall apart. This is all you guys' fault that my company is on the verge of collapse.
Excuse me? What did you just say? This is all our fault? No way in hell. I know that the reason you can never keep all your experienced employees and only the idiots want to come work for you is because you're a terrible leader.
What did you say?
The way you flaunt your business to all the people that want to join you and the way things really are run there are completely different. You even lie to them about the pay they'll be getting, only to pay them 65% of what they should be receiving each month. Also, you have all your employees working more and more hours a week without ever giving any overtime. I know that even some of the people my husband sent over during the first month all ran off saying they couldn't work in your climate anymore.
Well, that's because your husband only sends me his most spineless employees and never any of his good ones. I asked him to send me employees that won't complain about the environment and only want to be there to get work done. And all he's been sending me is complete garbage. If he keeps that up, then I really won't be able to keep moving forward with this company. I do not want my company going under when this is the company I put all my time and effort into.
Well then, change the way you work your employees and make it an environment that they actually feel cared about in. Give them all raises and make sure they actually get time off. That would be a great place to start if you want decent employees staying with you.
You an idiot? If I do that for all of them, then my profit's gonna start falling and I won't make as much money. I should be able to do what I want with my employees, and they should be happy I'm paying them at all. So stop screwing around with me by suggesting I pay them more, give them time off.
I can't wait to see your company go. Although it's pretty much sunken by now.
What?
I'm so happy my husband canceled that contract with your stupid company. Well, good luck now, and I hope you're able to find some way to exploit the rest of your remaining employees into getting the work done your company needs to survive. Luckily, you have my most amazing little sister with you to help out. Maybe make a last-ditch effort and hire her to go work for you. Ah, and then the two of you can run that company straight into the ground together.
No way. There's no way that'll happen. Millie? I'm so sorry for saying all those stupid things to you just then. Look, I want to apologize to you for everything that happened in the past, so can you please get your husband to help us more?
Don't ever talk to me again, you screwed-up waste of a man. My husband's company is far beyond whatever crap league you try and operate your company in.
What?
Now have a great time. And let my little sister know she's not welcome around me ever again either. Right after the talk I had with Frank, he went to his company and got all his employees together to talk about the state of things. But just before he could get anywhere with the meeting, 2 members of the state came into his company and told him to shut it down due to multiple compliances regarding the way he worked his employees. And you could say that that was the final trip that caused his company to come crashing down. I heard one time from my little sister saying that she wanted me to come and help her because the place she was living was close to being lost by both her and Frank. But right after receiving that message, I went ahead and blocked her, relieving what could have been more stress to me. My husband said that it was a real saving grace to learn about the man Frank really was before committing to that contract. Had he signed on to it and started sending more of his employees to Frank's company, who knows what world of hurt his company would have felt. When it comes to parties that my husband plans to throw, he said he's going to run all their names by me before inviting them for the time being.
For dinner tonight, I'd like you to make me some fried chicken. I have to work as well tomorrow, so make sure not to make it spicy this time. But I do want it to have a little bit of a zing to it, so maybe throw a little bit of lime flavoring into the... So no spice and a lot of lime this time. If I can have myself that zing when I get home from work today, I'll be a very happy husband, Monica.
I'm sorry, Brent, but I've already started working on dinner for tonight, and it's not going to be fried chicken this time.
Huh? Why are you not making what your husband wants to eat? This is a Wednesday, right?
Did we decide that every Wednesday is supposed to be a fried chicken day?
Would you put a little thought into things for me, please? Wednesday happens to be the middle of the week, right? And there is only another 2 days left of work before I'm able to have my weekend. In other words, that means I want to eat something fried, and with a lot of exciting flavor to it. That excitement will then leave me with enough energy to get through Thursday and Friday, and I'll be at the weekend after that. So I need to have that zing to my day today, or else I won't be able to make it through my week.
But last week when it was the middle of the week, you told me you wanted something a little more relaxing so that you could have time to calm down and finish the rest of your week, right?
That was me then and this is me now. Why do you always have to bring up the past when we are in the present now?
What?
Alright? You are my wife. And that means every day you were to look at how I'm feeling before I head into work and decide what to make me based off that. So you better start doing that right now.
Hold on a minute, Brent. I'm working a job myself, right? And that means I don't always have time to think about every little detail regarding you and your wants. If you have something you'd like to eat, please tell me a day or two before, or at the very least on the morning of, okay? But even on a day off, I'll most likely to go back to the store after I finish my work and put even more money that we don't really have into groceries.
You can make time to get me what I want. You barely even work enough hours in a day to make any money, so you have all the time in the world to think about me. You're just trying to be a selfish little brat right now. I have to work full-time 40 hours or more a week, and you think you having to work that small job is going to have me listening to you? Forget it. You're better off just leaving that job and staying home all day to get your real job done. Cleaning and cooking.
I'd really love to work full-time though.
If you started to work full-time, then you'd never be home in time to make me my favorite dinners and get the bath ready for me. You were more than okay living off the money I bring in, so there is no need for you to be working at all.
Well, if you don't want me working anymore, could you raise the amount of money I spent on groceries and the house a bit more? To be honest, with the amount you give me right now, it's a little tough to afford everything. Right now, I'm having to use the money I'm making to balance things out so that I can afford all the things we both need.
Are you a freaking idiot or something? That right there is you telling me you're such an idiot that you don't even know how to balance out your checkbook to make ends meet with what I'm giving you.
Why would you say things like that? I have been putting in a lot of work balancing things out with my money and yours. But I can't just give you the food you want 3 hours before dinner without having to go back to the store to spend more money on buying more food. You have to see that with the money I have right now, the best way to spend it well is to only stop at the store once or twice a week and buy everything then.
But by doing that, you're putting good food to waste. None of it is going to be fresh like I want. And as the husband of the house, I only want to be eating the freshest foods. You are really making a fool of yourself here. And with that, dinner today is going to be fried chicken.
And I've just told you a little bit ago that I've already started making something else for dinner, and that there's no changing what's for dinner now.
Well then scrap all that you've started on now and make me that fried chicken instead.
Well, I'm on my way back to my parents' house at the moment anyway, so that's not going to happen.
Huh? You're going to your parents' house?
Yesterday, my mom had a bad fall and ended up breaking her arm while trying to comfort her fall. We talked about this already, right? And because of that, it's been hard for her at home. So right after work today, I already got dinner going in a crock pot for you, and it will be ready by dinner time. So I'm on my way to see my mom for a bit, and I'll be back home later.
You're going there now? The reason I'm allowing you not to have to work a whole lot right now is not to let you go to your parents' house and spoil them.
I am not doing this to spoil them. I'm going there to make sure the chores can get done for my mom.
Let me tell you this right now. If I get home and my dinner isn't ready and the bath isn't hot, things are going to be bad for you.
I plan to be back home by the time you get out of work, alright?
I'm not allowing you to go to your parents' house today. You come back to our house right now and get back to making my dinner properly and finishing up any of the chores you have there. You listen to what I'm saying right now, woman.
What? What do you mean you're not allowing this? I will make sure everything is done properly today, okay? Is it so bad for me to go over and help my mom out a little in the meantime? My mom is living on her own now.
Well, you happen to have an older sister living a lot closer to her house, right?
And this week she's been on vacation with her family because she has time off work.
Then ask someone in their neighborhood to help her.
Someone in her neighborhood? There is nobody living close enough to her out there in the countryside for me to ask to go help her. That's why I'm on my way to her place now. I'm also just worried about how my mom is doing and want to see her with my own eyes.
You are a part of my family now, and you're my wife, which means that my family comes first, and I'm like your king. So that means you will listen to me before anyone else, and will only pay attention to me and my side of the family.
Are you kidding?
If you keep this up, I'm going to do the same thing your dad did to your mom and divorce you.
Excuse me?
If you do not want me divorcing you, then listen to what I'm saying. You don't want to end up like your mom, being thrown away by her husband and left for dead, right? If you still plan on going to her house, I'm going to print out the divorce paper and fill it all out. Now I'm getting back to work. I really hope you can make the right choice and come back home to make me that fried chicken I've asked for.
Mom, how are you feeling? I was able to get those pain medications from the doctor that I asked for. So as of right now, my arm is not hurting one bit and I'm doing fine. And as for today, you are more than welcome to stay at your house, Monica. Are you sure? I was planning on coming there to help you out right now. You broke your dominant arm, so there's no way you'll be alright on your own. But be it as it may, I'm going to be fine. Actually, my younger sister found out about me getting hurt and has to come over to take care of me. Wait, are you talking about Aunt Vanessa? Well, don't call her an aunt like that or she'll get a little upset. She still likes to think of herself as being young and would rather have just called her Vanessa. Anyway, she's going to be here with me for a week. Well, I'm relieved to hear that you have someone there with you then. Actually, when I was talking with Brent about how I'd be coming to your place today, he told me that I'm his wife and that I'm supposed to only care about his needs, and he told me not to go to your house at all. He doesn't want you to come see me? That's a little bit strange for him to say, right? I told him that I've been worried about you and that I wanted to come home and see how you're doing. I'm sorry for getting you all worked up over me. But hearing that Aunt Vanessa will be there with you has made me feel a little bit better about it. She happens to be really good at cooking. Well, she happened to work as a chef at one point in her life. Well, if that's the case, then she knows how to make you all sorts of healthy meals. You happen to also have a lot of things you hate eating, right? Don't say that like I'm a child about it, though. Anyway, Monica, I really don't want to have to ask this, but are things between you and Brent all right? What do you mean by that? Well, we are texting right now, so I'm not sure what kind of face you've been making. But make sure not to overdo things there, okay? If you have something you need to say to him, say it. And if he's going to be rude about something, you don't have to sit around and listen to him about it. And I know that. Times when I've gone over to your guys' house, and times when you've both come over here, I've noticed something. That man never seems to want to do anything, right? It's his own house over there, yet he always has you do everything for him. He tends to act like the dominant husband most of the time. I have not really been around Brent all too much, and so I'm not too sure what is up with him, but men that tend to want to be dominant husband are no good to you. They are very selfish and do not care how they treat you when it comes to benefiting themselves. I happen to have experience of that myself, so don't ignore what I'm saying here. When you were with Dad? Well, that man happened to cheat on you when he was out of the house with other women, and he would rarely ever put any of his money into the house and family, instead using it to go out with them. He told me he could do whatever he wanted with his time and money because he was the man of the house and the pillar that kept it all up. He made me feel as though it was my job as his wife to support him no matter what. That's why you ended up divorcing him, right? I regret it now. I should have done something about him a whole lot sooner than I did. I wasn't ever able to get myself to want a divorce from him, and that's what led you to having to live through more of his crap. And as I was trying to still make up my mind on whether to divorce him or not, he had left the house and joined a new woman. I understand that those were hard times for you, Mom. He didn't even leave us anything, not even a word or guilt for what he has done to us. And ever since that day, he has not said a single thing to us. I don't want something like that happening to you, okay? So make sure you have a plan ready for something like that and make your choice quickly. Believe in what your gut is telling you about Brent. Thank you, Mom. I understand there's not much I can do to help, but if you need anything, please call me. And if you have anything you need me for, call me. But you have Aunt Vanessa with you now, so I'm sure you'll be alright. Just make sure you get lots of rest and have that arm heal up.
Hey, Monica, where are you right now? You have to answer your husband's call before he gets to 3 or else you'll be in trouble, alright?
I'm on my way home now. Did something happen to you?
Huh? You're coming home now? What the hell are you thinking? I'm already at home now.
What? What do you mean you're already at the house? It's only 4 p.m. What the heck happened to you that caused you to be home this early? Did you start to feel sick?
Not really. I was just out on my break at work and was told that I could head home right from there. I guess I had nothing else to get done today at work. So I chose to go home like they said.
You were out on your break when they said that. I thought you told me you didn't really have any breaks there anymore after being moved into the sales department, right?
Well, about that. There's a lot of things going on at the office right now. Now let's talk about dinner.
Once I get home, I'll get right on it.
You freaking slowpoke. I've told you this plenty of times now. I want you home when I'm home from work, and you have to have dinner and a bath ready for me. I'm the one bringing in the money for this house, so the least you could do is feed me and get things ready for me to rewind after my day at the office. Are you trying to tell me you want a divorce?
Why would something like this immediately lead you to wanting to talk about a divorce?
If you don't want to be divorced like your mom was, then you need to stop making me pissed off. All right then. I'm going to get that paperwork right now.
What?
I don't think you're afraid enough of me yet. I think by having the divorce papers in my hands at all times filled out, that'll get you really worked up about things and make you want to act serious about your chores, right?
You have to be joking, right? Divorce is not something you should be using as a way to threaten your wife all the time.
I'm not just threatening you because I will seriously hand them in. I'm ready for it if you are. With you out of the house, I won't be in any trouble unlike you.
You would seriously hand those in. Are you not even thinking about working together with your wife anymore to make this relationship we have last?
You think I will work together with you and continue this relationship? All you are to me is a simple wife. You have no idea how many women there are just like you in this world.
Understood. Only 20 more minutes or so and I'll be at the house.
Then during that 20 minutes, I'm going to stop by the courthouse and get those divorce papers. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing not coming back to the house for 3 whole days? I told you not to worry about your mom anymore, right? I saw you leaving the house with those big bags saying you were dropping them off at your mom's place. But for those past few days, you haven't come back here to do the laundry or cook any food. Are you listening to me? How much longer do you plan on hiding at your mom's? Hurry up and come back here so you can take care of your husband.
Excuse me, but who am I talking to right now?
Huh? Stop with the freaking BS. You know dang well that I'm your husband.
But I'm a single woman now.
What the hell did you just say?
I handed in my divorce papers 3 days ago, and then I became single again.
Divorce papers?
But you and I had both signed them, all right? Well, I took all of those into the courthouse to be processed for us.
Wait a sec. I never heard anything from you about handing in those divorce papers, though.
But you signed them with me, and you said you wanted a divorce, right?
Wait. But you handing those in without my approval is messed up. I only had those signed by the both of us in order to get you to worry more.
But I wanted to divorce you then, and having you go out and get everything set up for me really helped it out.
You wanted a divorce?
Well, when it comes to a married couple, they both have to work together to continue the relationship, right? But you were asking me to do all this work by myself. get dinner ready for you before you got home from work, and have bath ready for you. And that last time where you came home earlier than normal and still expected things to be made up for you, and that was the last straw. I know you were only coming home early because they were barely paying you anything, right?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean they barely pay me anything?
You always told me you were the one supporting me with all your money, right? But the money I had to use every month for the house and the food primarily came out of my savings. About 70% of my savings would go into that. And what about the other 30? Well, it had to go to the things like Wi-Fi and the TV bill. I was paying more for the house than you were making from your job is what it seemed to me.
Wait, you're lying, right? I was the one paying for all of that, right?
You think that the money you bring in would actually support 2 grown adults living in the house? From what I noticed, you only put $400 into the house and the rest you spent on yourself. And as for all the money I had saved up and was making part-time, it all went right into the house and nowhere else.
But that's absurd.
But I was still your wife at the time, and I told myself something like that was not a cause for divorce. So I made sure to keep living like that, thinking someday things between you and I would get better and you'd start to care more actually supporting the house. I really thought back then you would actually come around and start helping out again. My parents had to get a divorce and I didn't want as well because I thought that it would really sadden my mom, and that's why I stuck with it for so long with you. I really didn't want my mom to be upset with me, but look where we are now.
If you don't want her to be upset, then take back those divorce papers.
But when I really put some thought into it, my mom is far more sad about me not being happy when I'm around you. That's why I've gone with my gut feeling and chose a path that I won't regret later.
Are you telling me that choice was divorce?
Well, in your case, you don't love me anymore, right? Well, I wanted a new life for myself. One where I can start working full-time again and not have to waste all of my money on a house each month. And I'm sure you wanted me gone as well after threatening me all those times. So see this divorce as a win for both of us, okay? We don't even love one another anymore, so why try and force something that's not there?
Are you sure you're okay with that? You're gonna regret this.
Well, we had been at this for over 2 weeks, getting everything ready for the divorce, right? I already have all my things with me and everything, so you can do what you'd like in that house because I'll never be back.
Well, if you come running back to me wanting to get married again, don't expect a single reply from me. Because I'm not getting back together with you. I don't care how much you regret and apologize for it. I'm not forgiving you. You're going to learn just how unhappy life can be after divorce. I had just come around to liking you as my wife, but now you've gone and ruined it for yourself. And you're really going to regret it. Hey, what does all of this mean? What are all these documents talking about?
Ah, you got those already. I had talked with a lawyer about things, and those are the documents you wanted sent to you.
A lawyer?
If you took a good read through them, then you'd probably already know what it is. But they are about the distribution of our properties as well as a settlement I'd like from you.
I can understand things like distribution of our things, but what's this about a settlement? If anything, I'm the one that's been wanting a settlement from you. You gave up your job as my wife.
That's not even something you can sue me or get a settlement from me through, right? I just happened to realize you are an awful person, and that's why I no longer wanted to love you anymore.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about that last straw. Remember the day you came home from office at 4 p.m.? You told me you were on a break and then told to go home because there was no more work for you to do, right?
That's what I told you, right?
Well, I was right to trust my gut like my mom said. Because when you said that to me, I had this feeling you had been cheating on me, and that's what led to the last straw and my love for you leaving me. So I went ahead and looked into the things a little more, and you weren't told to leave work early. You took later half of your day off work. You took the day off work so that you could go out with another woman on a date, right?
You looked into that? How far did you go?
Well, it took me 2 weeks to prepare me for the divorce we both wanted, right? And during that time, you continued to go out with another woman while I was at home preparing. I also happened to run into one of the women you've been with. And she happens to be one of the new employees at your office, right?
So this is what's led you to want a settlement from me?
And I'm hoping to get all that money from you as well as half of your savings in one payment, please. When my dad left my mom, he never left the family anything, not a single penny. So I'm doing as my mom told me. And that's getting every last penny out of you that I can before you have the chance to run away.
Hold on a second. I might have been out with some other women, but it was just for fun, alright?
That's odd, because after I've been gone for the past week or so now, you have one of the girls living in that house with you, right?
What? What do you know about that?
I just happen to have a good friend that lives nearby to the house, and they have been watching you since the day I left. And they said the moment I had left and told you about the divorce, you had another woman in there right away, and have been seen off by her every morning before you go to work, right?
Well, that's...
But the fact that you are both living together already has helped me a ton. I was able to figure out who she was, and now I can get a settlement from the both of you, since she's been with you while you've been still married to me.
This was all just for fun, though, so stop getting so worked up about it. Are you jealous that I have other women around me that I can sleep with or something? If that's the case, I'll let you remarry me. You want to come back home now? I won't use any other woman anymore, and we'll focus more on you again.
Excuse me? Did you say use?
I started to use them for making food for me. And, well, after about 3 days of that, a lot of them, especially my main girl, would want to go out to dinner and stuff instead. And this one that's been living with me now doesn't even know how to cook. She doesn't even do the dishes either. We've had to use paper plates, and when she does laundry, she'll toss my suit in the laundry machine as well.
Wow, that's amazing of her.
She told me she'd been living at her parents' house this whole time, and she never had to do chores. She said her mother taught her all kinds of things about chores. So I really need someone here that can get all that done for me, like you.
Well, what's so bad about the two of you staying together and both learning how to do chores? I don't want to be back with you for any reason, so go ahead and learn how to be an adult.
No, you have to be lonely, right?
No, because I no longer have to deal with a child that complains about wanting to only eat what they want every single day. Right now, I'm able to use my time for myself. I can eat what I want, do what I want, go where I want, all without some jerk yelling in my ear about it. Being single is way better than I remember it.
You're lying, right?
I do not want to marry you again, and I do not regret getting that divorce one bit. As those documents have told you, I want my share of the properties we had, and I want that settlement from you paid in one payment, please. If you can do that for me, then I'll be able to finally cut ties with you completely.
Hold on, okay, Monica? You and I have been married for a little while, right? Why did our marriage turn into something like this?
Can you take a look at all of the messages you've texted me over the past few months and ask me that question again? Maybe even ask some people around you about what you've sent to me and see what they think. Now after this, everything is going to be left to my lawyer to handle, so please talk with him at some point this week.
You want me to talk with him now? Why can't I talk with you? Hey, Monica!
Because Brent had literally spent all his money on things like going out with other women and never actually being in a house with me, he had no savings, and therefore had to take out a loan to pay me. And when it came to the woman who had been living in that house with him after I left, she assumed he'd pay for her settlement as well, but he had no plans of doing that for her, and they got into a fight before breaking up, and she had to borrow money as well to pay me. After having lost everything, Brent started going around to people, showing them the messages he sent to me, looking for people to tell him he wasn't in the wrong. But just when he thought people would agree with him, he got the exact opposite response from them, and most, if not all those people left him. Even now, life for him at work has been hell because most of his co-workers won't talk with him, and he's left sitting in his cubicle all day making the bare minimum the company offers him. But he still has a lot of debt to pay off after taking out that loan and a house to pay for, so he has no choice but to continue working there. And I've heard that recently, he's been starting to work more and more overtime in order to try and make extra money for everything. Hey Frank, where are you right now? The wedding is about to start here in a couple more minutes. I told you that I'd be going to a bathroom for just a second, and when I came out you were gone. Where did you go?
I'm sorry, Wendy. I just can't see myself going through with marrying you in the end. I decided that I'm going to be marrying Maya instead.
Huh? Are you talking about the Maya that I am friends with right now? Why are you planning to marry someone like Maya now over me? Today you and I are supposed to be getting married, and we are both supposed to have our wedding today.
Well, you are not my destined woman. The only person I found I'm destined for is Maya, and there is no one else I want.
What the heck do you mean by destined woman?
For a very long time now, I've always thought that was really cute. She has a perfect straight black hair and she's very calm and relaxed. And she's just so fragile. I have always been wanting to be the man to protect her, and that's what I'm going to do. She is the woman I've always been dreaming of, and there's nothing getting in the way of me and her.
Uh-huh.
Today, Maya actually came into the dressing room with me, and right there in front of me, she began to break down and cry. She told me I'm the first man that she's ever met that she really wanted to marry.
Maya said something like that to you while crying?
But when she stopped crying, she told me that I'm your groom. So she just gave up on me. As a way of making one everlasting memory with me before it became yours, she hugged me. If she's gonna do something as adorable as that to me, there's no other way around her. And so right then and there, I told her my feelings for her, and we both left the wedding while you went to the bathroom.
You have to be lying, right? So you're telling me that you both agreed to just run away from our wedding today?
Well, it's not like I can marry you anymore. You happen to be a really strong woman, Wendy, and you can take care of yourself, so don't worry. But when it comes to someone as cute and petite as Maya, I can't let her go on alone. She has never even had any experiences with another man, so she's still in her prime. I need to have her, and I'm not going towards anyone else.
What?
Men are easily taken away by things like that, Wendy. There's nobody else in this world I'd love to marry besides her. And so I can't let her go away crying like that when she wants to be with me. Especially when she says I'll be her first boyfriend and husband. She is nothing like you, who has already had 5 boyfriends before, and have been pretty much used up.
What did he just say?
You've already been with 5 other men, so? But unlike you, Maya's pristine. She has never been with another man before, not even for a kiss. She is fresh and clean, and that's what I love so much about her. I've learned today that a fresh woman like her is the only woman I can marry.
I have never made fun of you or anything for never having been with any other woman before me. And me having 5 boyfriends before you is nothing compared to some people.
Well, it doesn't matter. You've been used up, and I don't need a wife like that. I'm going to be marrying Maya now, and there is nothing you can do to stop me. I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to give up on me.
Wendy, have you still not gotten back to me about that wedding invitation I sent to you? It's been a week now since I sent that over to you, and I'm sure the mail does not take that long within our city. Not getting a response from me is a response, right? Who do you think would want to come to your guys' cobbled together wedding anyway? What? That's so mean. Are you not going to come and celebrate your friend's wedding with her? We have been great friends ever since middle school, right? What makes you my friend anymore? You literally took Frank from me at my wedding. And ever since that day, I have not been able to get a word out of you until one day you texted me about your guys' wedding invitation. Stop freaking messaging me right now, okay? You really think I'd want to be at that wedding for the 2 of you? Stop getting so upset with me. I'm sure you'll be able to find yourself another boyfriend really soon, right? So, just let me have Frank and things will all get better for the 2 of us. But man, I cannot believe I got to become the wife of a very well-educated doctor. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be with someone as brilliant as Frank. Then go out and find your own man like that instead of stealing mine. Don't you already have a bunch of men under your belt now that you can go back to? So go ahead and find one of those men that happens to be brilliant to you and marry them, please. But the issue is, recently all the men I've had around me started to vanish. I have been wanting to keep them all around me, but one by one they find someone else and are gone before I even know it. I'd assume they got tired of waiting for you to come to them. Well, if you want someone like Frank, then maybe it's time you started a search outside your circle. What? I really don't want to have to do any work of my own finding a man I want. It takes about a year to find a man, and then you have to go out with them for about 6 months before you can expect anything to proceed, right? And then it takes another few years to be dating them seriously. And then you can finally think about marriage after so much has already gone by. I'm sorry, but that is too much time and work for someone like me. So, of course, it is way easier for me to just see how a man treats his woman in a relationship and then swoop right in to steal if I like his character. So that's the way you chose to steal Frank from me? But you were trying to be a little sly dog about your man this whole time. To think that you'd be going out with someone who's a doctor and would never tell your friends that? And not only that, but you barely let me around him to see just how nice he really is. So by the time I found out about Frank, I had no other choice but to grab him. Again, I'm sorry, but a man like Frank is once in a lifetime to find. I am not playing around here, you freaking mess. You think that just because your friend's man happens to be your type, you have the right to steal him from her? Wow, scary. It's because you act like that Frank decided to leave you, right? He happens to like quiet and cute little girls more than women like you who start to yell about everything. I think the whole marriage you guys planned on was all going to fall apart anyway, so I'm saving you the trouble by taking him away from you now. Then he's probably going to end up leaving you at some point too, right? To him, he thinks of you as this cute and petite little angel, but on the inside, you love to go around playing with other men, right? You've even kept at least 10 other guys around you since college, just in case you needed someone to play with or use. What about that makes you so cute and pure like he thinks? Go ahead and keep crying about it. Men are so easy to deceive, Wendy. He thinks just because I have a simple hair and I'm small and I'm quiet around him, I've never had any experience with other men before. I can't believe that it was so easy for someone like me to get a man like him away from you. But I guess he has no idea about what us women are really like, and that's why it was so simple this time around. All I had to do was make him think I was a virgin and never knew anything about men before, and just like that, he couldn't keep his eyes off me. Right, it's kind of insane how simple it was for you to get Frank to fall for you like that. Just as you'd been wishing for, he fell head over heels for you. He was telling me the whole time that he felt so bad for you because you look small and weak, and that's why he wanted to be the one to protect you as your husband. Seriously, Frank was too dang easy. To think that a man who is now a doctor and has an amazing education could be so easy to snag. He really is going to make an excellent husband for me. He is the perfect type for me that I've wanting for so long. I had honestly thought I'd gotten used to how much of a weirdo you are, but to think you'd actually go after your own friend's fiancé to steal? And hearing your reason for doing so being that having to find your own man is a pain in your butt? God, it pisses me off. No matter what you have to say about me, all I can hear from you is crying and whining like a dog. I'm sorry that you have to live a life of such extreme pain now over this, but just give it up already and be happy for me. Your friend is finally going to get married, so please come to my wedding. And I'm expecting a big present from you as well. Now, I'll be waiting on that reply from you soon. Geez, you actually came to my wedding today, huh? The fact that you were thrown away by your own fiancé before, I'm amazed you actually amassed the courage to come here. Huh? You were the one that sent me an invitation to be here, right? And you even started to text me a week after sending asking me to come and that you wouldn't take no for an answer. That was all just because I'm a friend of yours from middle school. I just wanted to reach out to you to see how things were going. But I thought things would be so hard for you and you'd never be able to make it here. However, to my surprise, you actually came to my wedding looking normal. Do you not even have a sense of pride for yourself anymore? I'm sure you're the one with less pride than me, right? You wanted to get married so badly and so quickly that you decided to steal a friend of yours' fiancé from here. That right there shows that you have zero pride in yourself. Huh? You had your groom stolen from you on the day of your wedding, so what makes you think you can act all tough in front of me? You're the freaking loser, so you don't even try to make fun of me. Wow! Scary! I can see why someone like Frank would throw you away for talking and acting like that. Frank happens to like quiet and cute girls after all. So, if he saw how you were acting with me right now, he'd be off your wagon in no time. Trying to make fun of me like that is not going to work. In my case, all I have to do is make sure that I keep my composure in front of him and he'll never question me whatsoever. Also, I don't even have to do anything because my looks were already enough to win him over. He is not going to suspect a thing from me and will forever be mine. Well, Frank so happens to be a simpleton when it comes to things like women. He judges a woman based off their looks alone and never questions the person they are deep down. But I guess a prideless dog and her idiot man would make a great couple in the end, right? Well then, you are a simpleton yourself, you loser. Just because you got an invitation from me, you assumed it was serious and actually came to the wedding of your ex-fiancé and friend? You're such an idiot for actually coming today. Well then, keep acting like a simpleton and celebrate the wedding of your ex and the woman that stole him from you. You think I'm actually here to celebrate you too? Huh? You think I came here seriously wanting to celebrate two jerks like you guys? You have been my friend for years and years now, and you think I'd be the kind of person to do something that shallow? What is going on with you now? Are you here to try and get Frank back from me? Well, I'm sorry, Wendy, but that's not going to happen. He is very much invested in me now and would never budge for a loser like you. No matter how hard you try to win him back over, he'd never choose a freak like you, okay? Who the hell would want to steal a dunce like him back? I don't give a crap about some pile of garbage like that anymore. What? Then why are you here? Well, you can look forward to learning that really soon. I have a very huge surprise for my friend of so many years that I want to show today. What the hell? What the hell was that cruddy speech about? What the hell are you wanting to do to me? It's because of you that the wedding is already going downhill now. What? Going downhill? But you were so happy and so was everyone else. What about any of that crap would make any of us happy? After that speech you gave to everyone, Frank's eyes rolled back into his head and he passed out. And because of that, everyone got up in a panic and started to try and help Frank. Not a single person here was happy about the speech you gave. What? Are you sure about all that? Everyone was able to hear an amazing speech from your bestest friend today, and that made everyone so moved and happy. After everyone heard about the real person you were beneath that mask, they were all shocked. Huh? Towards the end of middle school, you brought your first boy ever over to your parents' house and made love to him, which led you to wanting more and more. Your addiction to men became so bad that last year, you almost didn't pass 8th grade and could have held back a year. But you did make it to high school, where things only got worse, and by the time you got into college, you were at your prime of playing around with other men and never paying attention to anything but them. Around that time, you happened to have 15 different men you were sleeping with, and even recently, you've still had a few, right? And it's because all of your experience with different men all at the same time, you happen to have 2 cases of abortion under your belt, right? Well, I'm glad to see that my ex would rather be with a woman like you now, and I hope everything goes well between you, and you both know that he knows all about you. And that is why I gave that speech today, all as a way of showing my support for 2 awful people getting married. You really did it this time by telling everyone about me. I was doing so well lying to Frank about being this quiet and pure petite woman, and now you've ruined all my work now. He really thought I'd never even touch another man before him, and he wanted to be my husband because of that. Man, I never thought he'd actually pass out after hearing all of that juicy information about you. However, I did think that this speech would shock him a little bit. Wendy, you are a horrible woman. You came into one of your best friend's weddings and completely ruined it for her. I'm never going to forgive you for something like this. What? It's because this wedding is for my best friend and my ex that I tried so hard with that speech. I thought that since today would be a way of saying you both were finally going to become a close couple forever, it would be wrong of you to continue to lie. I mean, Frank was telling me all about how you two are destined to be together, so I thought the both of you should know everything about the other. And even the truth about you happens to be a real eyesore. Since you both are meant to be, the truth shouldn't hurt anything. Stop it with all that BS right now. Because you've caused all of this, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to make you take full responsibility for my wedding being completely ruined. What? You'd sue one of your best friends like that? You're nothing to me now, Wendy. I bet you wanted to get some kind of revenge on me for stealing your fiancé, but doing something as horrible as this as a way of revenge will not slide in my books. I am going to take this to court and sue your butt. I see. I guess you and I aren't really friends anymore, are we? Well, I got it now. Since that seems to be the case now, I'm going to sue you as well. What? Well, you did come to my wedding all with the plan of stealing the groom from me, right? And you were successful at doing so. The only reason nothing major ever happened after that day to you is because Frank decided to pay for the whole wedding still, even though it was completely ruined. But if you're going to try and sue me now, then this is a completely different situation for me. Because now, I have every right to sue you and have you pay a settlement to me for what happened then. You're lying. But if the both of us are going to be suing one another now, there is no point in us trying to get the money from each other, right? So, how about we both agree to just let bygones be bygones at this point? But if I let you get away with this, then what'll happen to my wedding today? It's because of you that it's going to be cancelled now. Are you trying to say to me that my only choice now is just to let go? What happened without any form of punishment towards you? If you really want to try suing me, then go ahead. But that only means I'll sue you for what you did to my wedding. Well, it looks like as though your wedding is finished now, so I'm heading home. And since we're no longer friends anymore, can you make sure to never talk to me this much ever again?
Hey, Wendy? Was everything you were saying in your speech yesterday really true? Is Maya really that kind of a nasty whore?
Well, if you left all that part out, she'd be a decent person. But the fact that she's been playing with so many men in her life without a single care in the world, that's really tarnished her image really bad.
Really? She told me she'd never been with any other men before me, though. She said that men were scary, and that's why she'd never gone out with them before. She said that it was her first time holding hands with a man to me, and her first time going on a date with someone to me.
Dang. She was telling you lies like that as well? Did you know she happened to even have a boyfriend all the way back in elementary school? I'm sorry, but she has been around men all her life, and makes sure to let people like me know that.
Really?
If you really think about it, I'd say she's been with at least 100 different men, and at least half of them have slept with her. Wait, maybe it's her having slept with 100 men now and she's been with 200.
You're lying, right? How could someone as petite and innocent as her have slept with that many men? And she's been around at least 200 different men than you think? I was fooled by this whole dang time.
Well, it's your fault for being fooled by her that easily when you were already with me, right? You think a woman who has been scared of men all her life and never dated anyone would be coming into the men's dressing room to see you at our wedding and then come to you crying and hugging you?
Well, at the time.
But what does it matter the kind of person she's been at this point? You told me she's the woman you're destined to be with, so there's no need to judge her that much when she's the only person for you. That was your reason for throwing me aside and going after her at her wedding, right?
What?
So, go ahead and enjoy your wonderful life with the woman of your dreams. I think the two of you are perfect with each other.
Wait a second, Whitney. Do you think you and I can get back together now? I'll make sure to break things off with Maya for you. I think you're the one I'm really destined to be with.
What? What the actual frick are you going on about now?
Don't worry. I totally understand how you're feeling right now. You still love me, and that's why you told me at the wedding about who Maya really is, right? You came to our wedding in order to save me from her lies and get back with me, right? Even though I happened to be possessed by that whore for a little while, you still knew deep down that you had feelings for me, right? Since I've now been able to see how much you still love and care for me, I want to marry you.
Jesus Christ, Frank.
I'm sorry that I was fooled by the stupid witch. I hadn't been with any other woman besides you at that time. And so I just wanted to see what another woman could be like. It's because of my lack of experience with women that I hurt you, and I'm sorry. But you have to understand now that I only love one woman, and that's you. So let's get married.
No, I already have myself a new man now. Just after our wedding was destroyed by you, I ran into him and we started to date, so there's no me coming back to you.
What? You have a new boyfriend? Can you please slow down for me? It's only been 1 month since you and I broke up, right? Yet you happen to get another man that easily after. You were just another whore like Maya, aren't you?
My God, Frank.
Crying out loud. Are all the women on this planet freaking whores or something now? Can I at least find one other woman who hasn't been with other men? There must be at least one girl on this planet that is still pure for me.
Shut the freaking hell up, would you? It's not that all women are whores for being with another man. Rather, you are just a freaking child of a man and deserve no respect from any of us good women. You are the kind of lost cause of a man that not even your mother would want to love you anymore. So, stop blaming me for all your problems when it's completely your fault that you are a complete waste of everyone's time and energy.
What?
You really think you're going to find yourself an innocent woman when you act like that? You said you wanted yourself a pure and cute little girl to protect like the man you think you are, right? Well, there aren't any women like that in the world for you because everybody is stronger and better than you. Every single woman and girl on this planet is stronger than you could ever be, and all of them can manage on their own without a parasite like you latching onto them. Nobody freaking needs you, Frank.
Hey, what's got into you, Wendy? You were a lot more powerful with your speech than you have ever been around me. Saying things like that about someone like me makes you look like a jerk, you know?
What the hell, Frank? Right now, the man I call my boyfriend is sitting next to me reading all this and laughing because of the things I'm calling you. Yet you seem to keep thinking women like me will never find a man and that we're all whores ourselves. It's because you always blame women for not wanting to be with you that you'll never find anyone. You really must have to pride in yourself if you're going to judge women based off the amount of men they've been with. That's why someone like Maya had to lie to you about how many men she's been with to get to you.
Wait, you can stop that now. If you keep saying things like that about me, I'm going to cry.
Good! I want you to break down. Someone as fragile as you thinking they could ever protect an innocent woman is a joke. I hope that by having you realize how worthless and small you really are, you'll stop acting like every woman in the world is a problem. I don't want to hear any more from you about how you could protect any small and cute woman because you are the most thin and skeletal looking freak on this planet.
Stop it! I'm already starting to cry now.
Never ever talk to me again, you freak. I don't even want to think someone as pathetic as you is living on this earth with me. Go buy yourself some crayons and draw a picture of that perfect and pure girl you want so bad and then marry it. And just like that, I never received another text or call from either Maya or Frank ever again. After that, those two never ended up handing in their marriage forms and so they both broke up. And since Maya was betting on Frank to pay for the wedding because he was a doctor, she never saved up any money. However, after he ran away, she was forced to pull out $40,000 in borrowed money and use all of that to pay for the wedding off. But in her case, there was nobody around her to help pay off that debt. Not her parents, not her family, not even her friends. They all even began to cut ties with her, and any of her friends who were kind enough to say one last thing to her would tell her that she never thought she'd be the type to steal her own friend's fiancé. After that, she started to go back to the men she'd had on her leash before going after Frank, but all of them told her they'd gotten married now. They also made sure to tell her that they were seriously in love with their wives, and then proceeded to never respond to her ever again. And when it comes to how Frank is doing now, he's been going to a lot of women in his family and asking them if they're doing everything to make sure to please their man. He even questions their ability to cook now and says if they can't, nobody will ever stay with them. But because of this, his family quickly started to stop talking to him one by one, and as of right now, not even the men want to deal with him, and now he's been disowned by his own family.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.